Welcome to the Motherload. I'm Amy Stober.
I'm Ann Brown.
And today we're doing a short segment that we call a Motherload Morsel. And we have with us Erin, who has some questions for us today about parental judgment that we feel. Go ahead.
So something that I've been trying to work out in my home is that my husband will sometimes come home from work and say, oh, I met with my client so-and-so today, and he mentioned that his child doesn't sleep in a crib anymore, or their child is potty trained at 2, and our child, who is going to be 4 in about a week, is not potty trained and does not sleep in a crib. Mm-hmm. And I just want to know your thoughts on that. What's the response?
And viewers who are already judging you, Erin, right, should know that Cooper has some medical complications, right, that may have delayed some of that autonomy. But the bigger question is, how do I defend my kid?
Exactly.
Right, when either my husband or someone else is...
Grandparents.
Sure,
Right.
Right.
I think the first part that's the hardest is identifying whose voice you're hearing. That to be able to say, I'm hearing my grandparents' voice, my neighbor's voice, my teacher's voice. That makes us, I think, not be fair to our kids, because I know the times that I've felt the most shamed of the parenting I did was when I was too harsh on my own kids because I heard someone else's voice saying they should be off the bottle already, or they should be whatever.
Right.
So I think that what you can say about yourself will be what you can say in front of Cooper. And I think the I message is always the easiest way to go. It's like, this is how I like to do it. This is how we are doing it in our family. In our family, Cooper, we believe that it is your choice when you're ready to not sleep in your crib. We believe, and the trick to saying that is believing it. Because if we don't truly believe it, our kids are going to read that in us. And I think that some things, it's almost better to practice saying in the mirror, so you're ready when someone in line at Whole Foods says,
is he still using a bottle?
Right. Yeah. Or, this is not Cooper, but I've seen kids with pacifiers in their mouths, and the kids look like maybe they're 4 or 5, and inevitably some stranger says, you're not a baby, why do you have a pacifier?
Right.
And those poor kids, you hit the nail on the head, Erin, because what they need is for their parents to defend them. Right. It's not up to the child to defend themselves. And so you have to almost practice saying things like, this is how we do it in our family.
And this is such great practice for not just when they're 3, but for when they're 12 and 16, right? Because we have to use that we language their whole life. Because otherwise we're going to be constantly justifying all of the decisions we make around parenting.
This is the choice we make.
This is what we do in our family, right? Whether it's around a cell phone when they're 12, or whether or not they're doing a sleepover at 7 versus 10, or whether or not we let our kids, skip school on senior skip day.
Right.
This is good practice, right? Really what this is about, when the question you're asking about other parents' frustrations is your own boundaries, right? I have a boundary, we have family cultures that create boundaries for us, and you're showing Cooper and teaching him how to use his voice around, this is what we do, this is what we're comfortable with. I'm good with it, Dad's good with it, and therefore Cooper goes, I'm good with it.
Plus, I think it's important when someone has said something in front of Cooper later in the car to say, wow, that person really didn't understand that kids get out of diapers at all different times, or some kids have that. It's important later to talk about it with your child in a way that you aren't being defensive, but you're saying, that person really didn't understand. I think once when one of my kids was really young, someone in line said, oh, you can't be a boy. With those eyelashes, you're too pretty to be a boy. You should be a girl. Right. And my son was about 3 and a half. And his eyes just got so wide. And so I don't remember what I said in the moment. It was a long time ago, and I probably said something wrong to that. Like, really? Well, you got acne. It's like, I don't know what I said. But on the way home, I said to my son, some people have the strangest ideas, that they think if you have long eyelashes and beautiful eyes, you're too pretty. What does that mean? And so I was able to kind of normalize in his head, like, okay, I thought that was a weird thing that person said. But now that I've heard my mom validate that it was a weird thing, now I can feel okay about it.
And I think even better, right? Or not even better, but in addition to, right? Sorry.
That's judgmental.
Right.
You're judging.
In addition to, what I'm hearing you say, Ann, is what helps our child even more is if we can do it in the moment, right?
Oh,
if we can say to that other parent or our husband or our mother-in-law, you know what? I know, I absolutely respect that that's what you did for your kids and that's where you're at, but we're doing it a little bit differently. And when your child can hear you say that and set that boundary in front of this other person, it helps them know, like, oh, this is This is okay for us.
Right.
And I want to constantly send our kids the message, I'm on your side.
That's
We're
right.
a team, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So this was a Motherload morsel for today.
Thank you,
right?
Erin.
Thank you so
welcome.
much. Thank you to our sponsors, Pioneer Pediatrics.
And find us on Facebook at the Motherload, Not Your Mother's Parenting Advice. Please remember, on our Facebook page, you can write in with your questions, and we will answer them on the air. And remember, don't parent like my
co-host.
like my co-host.